It is the Illini Basketball Podcast. Of course, duh, everybody knows that. That's why I clicked on it. Episode 138. After the Illini stepped all over Nebraska in relatively easy fashion, a couple runs here and there, but other than that, 26-point game, pretty easy win, obviously. So, yeah.
Yeah, Illinois didn't look great at the beginning. Had little struggles to start the second half, but overall, you had to be happy with their offense, what they're doing on offense, and especially happy with their defense. So, Jay, what's going on? What up? Early one today? Yeah, had to get it in early. Tom was here at 6:30. So thanks, Tom, for the comment. But let's start with the Pogs like we always do. Some people go with the obvious choice and some people pick, role players. So I went with Jaden Epps. 27 minutes, 5 for 6 from the field. He was 1 for 1 from 3, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover. So I think he had 4 last game, 3 or 4. So like to see him, handling the ball better in that point guard role. And like I said before, really like his game. Falling in love is what I put on here with his game recently. The way that he finds angles, the way that he can penetrate, he can score at all 3 levels. Probably the best shooter on the team. I'm not scared to say that at all. So it's nice to have that option. And no knock at Sky, but Sky as a point guard couldn't score the way Jaden Epps can. So it's really nice to be able to have that in the point guard role. I know he's not starting, but he's definitely playing starter minutes with 27 minutes a game. So yeah, Jaden Epps, great game, consistency. I like to see that. Go ahead and pick the guy that,
Okay, first of all, with Epps, do we start to get scared about the fact that every single guy over the last 4 years that has come off the bench and been great becomes worse when they start? Because he's eventually going to start.
Yeah. I don't know if he starts, though.
I think eventually he'll start.
Is it necessary?
Well, Sincere coming out, and they've gotten up to bad starts pretty much every time Sincere starts.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's his fault, but I mean, Wisconsin game was certainly his fault.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like Brad's going to want to put Epps in the starting lineup at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that he needs to, but I think that he loves the energy right off the bat. But I think Epps' defense is getting a lot better too. It's not Sincere level, but it seems to be improving game after game. So
this next game will be a good test because they have guards.
Yeah. And I think, what I really love about this offense is that Illinois was a lot of, create your own shot with the old 5-out offense. And now it is finding shots for everybody, but being able to pass it to do that. So that has really opened up, the floor for Jaden Epps and Terrence Shannon Jr., who you're going to talk about. And I think that's a big part of, even if he does start, I don't think it's going to, hinder him.
No.
But
I think he's too good of a scorer naturally.
Yeah.
Compared to other guys that I would like. Coleman became worse when he started, at least at the beginning. I don't know about now.
Yeah.
Curbelo, disastrous when he started. Melendez had a little bit of that too. So.
Yeah. Vaughn, we're going to talk about Coleman soon, but he says every time Coleman shoots a ball from the logo, I lose 2 years off my lifespan. Guy's only going to live to be like 42 then. That's what it sounds like. So
damn shame.
Go ahead.
Yeah, mine is Terrence Shannon Jr., obviously because he's the literal player of the game. Like,
he was.
Only one part of his game where I'm like, okay, not good enough, which was 3. He's played 35 minutes, 10 for 17 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3, which what can you do? 3 for 5 from the line. 3
for 5 from the line.
I'd like 4 for 5 at least.
Okay.
25 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 0 turnovers. And the biggest thing for this game for me is that Terrence Shannon Jr. said, okay, this Greasel has 0 chance of stopping me. Any of the other guys, I'm going to go to the rim and score every single time. And he did that a lot in this game.
Yeah, he absolutely found a way to get downhill in this game, to be aggressive. And he talked about being aggressive and how that's kind of changed his game. And again, this offense spreads the floor out for him a little bit more. Movement helps everybody. So yeah, Shannon was great offensively. I thought he was really good defensively. He kind of has that knack with Meyer to be able to aggressively get in passing lanes. He had the steal with a nice run out alley oop to Coleman. Then he had the one where he took it himself and threw it down. So really, really like that. Yeah, Shannon, the threes, 2 for 7. I'm okay with him taking 7. I think he's a shooter, and he's going to shoot. And it's nice to see his mid range game too a little bit. We saw that a little bit this game, some pull ups, stuff like that. Daniel says Shannon really does love that left hand. He even switches to it at the rim on the right side. As long as he's slashing, he's effective. Yeah, he went right more this game than I think he has all year. And yeah, he finishes with his left hand, but as long as he's finishing, I'm happy with that. He kind of reminded me of Io on that one where he kind of threw it up off the backboard sideways with it. He just seemed like Io-esque type,
Sure, yeah.
Sure. Jay says, great to see Shannon driving and having success, and Epps continues to impress. Dude will be a stud moving forward. Yeah. Crypto's here. What's up, Crypto? Thanks for stopping by. Underwood said of Shannon, he is one of the best players in our league. He wants to be coached, and he wants to be coached hard. He wants to be pushed and things demanded of him and expectations put on him. 25-11 is a pretty good night on any level. Not just good for us, but fun to see the guys maximize their talent level.
Well, I think, did you say something about Shannon's rebounding earlier in the season? You like to see a little bit more?
Yeah.
So there's 11
He's
for you.
been crazy. He had 7 last game, I think.
8.
Yeah, he's 8. Yeah, he's been crashing the boards. Actually, he's been the best rebounder over the last few games. So
11, 8, 5, and then he only had 3 against Bethune-Cookman, but there wasn't that many rebounds.
Yeah.
Maybe easy to forget the Missouri game, but he did have 5 offensive boards in that game.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been getting
and like you got to let the 4 assists.
Yeah.
He's playing team basketball and finding guys when he does drive. The ball movement has been exceptional. It was really good this game. Of course, the spread offense tends to lead to that, and I hope that everybody realizes that Brad Underwood can make adjustments, and he's a pretty good coach. So
yeah, I still don't think people are going to go run with that yet, but
no chance. Coleman Hawkins, 35 minutes, 5 of 9, 1 of 5 from 3, 1 for 2 from the line, 12 points, 3 rebounds. Don't like 3 rebounds out of Coleman Hawkins, but 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 2 turnovers. Coleman's he played good this game. He wasn't great. He wasn't exceptional. I feel like with Coleman, there's the bad and then there's the great, and then that equals out to good. He had a couple passes that you're like, what are you doing? He shot 2 from the logo, I believe. And I text you that one. It looked like it was a set play, like he was supposed to miss that short, and Shannon was down. Shannon was the only guy down there to get the rebound, which I thought was weird. I assume that wasn't really a play, but it sure looked like one.
And we're gonna say that it was.
And I think the great, you got to love that the time that he did go to the hole hard and threw that one down.
Yeah, almost. I mean, he almost blocked himself there off the rim.
Yeah, but it was good to see.
One thing I liked about the one of the logo ones is like you just look at the sideline and Brad just
That was the first one because the
Yeah.
second one was a set play. It was out of bounds and there was time running off the shot clock. So I understood that one.
Now, do you
That
think when
first
Brad
one was-
puts his arms up, he's like, "What are you doing?" Or is he like, "That's Coleman, man.
That's
He just, you
Coleman,
know,
yeah.
he's probably gonna make it. He's probably gonna make it."
He's got to shoot seven of them. So he only shot 5 this game. I mean,
He
that's
also
what
got
I'm more
cooked
upset
by
about.
Wilhelm Breidenbach too. Anybody want to talk about that?
Yeah.
That dude cooked him.
Yeah. Again, Coleman, he still seems more under control in this style. His shot fakes were back a little bit more this game than what we saw in the previous game. But the fadeaway jumper was pretty. I know that Brad doesn't like that shot. I really don't like that shot. But Illinois kind of needed a basket at that point, and there wasn't anything going. And Coleman found a way to get in the basket. So.
Meyer took 2 fadeaway threes. So if you really don't want to like a shot, then that's the one. If you would have shown me a picture of Wilhelm Breidenbach and you said, did this guy play in the Illinois-Nebraska game or did he play in the office basketball game? I would have said he definitely played in the office basketball game.
I had my buddy said that he loves his game. So I don't know what you're talking about.
He was cooking Coleman Hawkins for like 5 minutes. Made a couple threes, went to the rack, left
one of those,
and the foul.
One of those was on Dane too.
Yeah,
I mean, Dane's
one
got
of them
a
was wide open,
9-foot wingspan and decides to jump at a 3-point shooter. So
yeah, I mean Wilhelm Breidenbach, maybe player of the game.
Like Bergie says, like Hoiberg putting his hands up when Shannon was open.
And the announcers made sure to tell us what Hoiberg was doing every time Illinois was. Yeah. And Hoiberg's got his hands up. Stupid.
Matthew Meyer, 25 minutes, 2 of 8, or 2 of 10, 2 of 8 from 3, 4 for 5 from the line, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and a turnover. His defense is impressed me. I know that I've talked about it. He still seems slow sometimes, but he did get around the guy and pick his pocket that one time. He has great timing around the rim. That's how he, consistently gets blocks every game. So even though that he might be a step slow, I think his basketball IQ is so high, he anticipates a lot. So that's really good. And then I just put down here, Meyer is going to Meyer because Matthew Meyer is the only guy on this team that seems to hate this offense.
Yeah.
Matthew Meyer wants to get his shots. And I think that Brad runs sets for him to get his shots. But there were a couple of those where you're just like, the air ball 3, step back 3. Thankfully, RJ was under the hoop to rebound that. It's just some of those that you're just like, Meyer does not look happy out there. They were running one set and he kind of jogged up to the top of the key. And like, if he would have made a hard cut, he would have been wide open for 3 because his defender was lacking behind him. But instead he was so miserable that he had to run this set that he just kind of walked up there to get the ball instead of making a hard cut. But again, guys are cutting, guys are moving, and that's what's driving this offense. We talked about it, the 5 out and that stuff, and there's just no movement in that, and guys weren't cutting. And even if they have to cut now because that's what the play says to do, at least they're doing it, regardless of if something happens. I did say that I don't think that he loves the offense, but I think that he loves winning more. So he's gonna settle with what offense is running. He's probably gonna get 10 to 15 shots up a game though. That's it. That's just the way it's gonna be. And you're hoping that Matthew Meyer's on. I did think that when Nebraska was making that big run and Meyer found a way to get to the line when Illinois couldn't score was pretty big too. Brad talked about that in the post game 2 games ago and about stopping guys' runs and getting to the line. And when Illinois really didn't seem to be able to get anything going, Meyer made it a point to get to the rim and get fouled and go knock down a couple free throws.
He bailed himself out a little bit after a terrible 3.
Yeah.
And then Dane gets it, and then Dane with a nice pass, Meyer good cut.
Yep. Yeah, that was really nice from Dane. Sincere, I don't know how long did he play. I didn't even write it down. 20 minutes.
20
It
minutes.
says he was 0 for 6, but I'm pretty sure that he shot that one with time still on the clock. So we're going to say 0 for 7. 0 for 3 from 3, 0 points, 2 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 turnovers. I believe that he took the first shot of the game again. Sincere, trying to get his shots up.
Yep.
I hope that, he can get better at, finding angles like Epps does and, using the backboard and, figure out his 3-point shot. It's kind of like it's a push. I think you've called it before.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
Horrific.
But again, who cares, right? His defense makes up for everything bad that he's doing.
I agree, but it's not like he's going 0 for 3. 0 for 6 is a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather see him not shoot the ball at all, to be honest. But
man, when he's wide open, he's got to take wide open.
Yeah, if he's wide open, sure. I mean, he can make those. The only guy that I wouldn't want doing that's Dane Danger and maybe Ty Rodgers.
The problem I think is that he's so quick sometimes that he doesn't know what to do because he gets the spot so fast. He's like, oh shoot, I got to just throw it up or make a weird pass. But his defense is.
He's amazing. 0 for 9 from the field in the last 3 games.
Yeah. But he was getting in between rub offs, and I think he picked 2 balls off in between there. The way that he plays defense seems like it's starting to rub off. Guys are starting to play harder. I believe Desmond. What's Desmond's Howard? Is that his name?
No.
On Big Ten, Desmond. What's his last name?
No clue.
Okay, the guy on the Big Ten Network. I thought he had a really good point about guys seeing Sincere and how he succeeded by how he's playing has made guys want to play like that. And this team looks, again, like a team now. They're picking each other up. They're excited. They're having fun. And I think Sincere was a big part of that, getting him into the lineup. So, Dane Danger. Surprised that he only played 16 minutes. It seemed like he was on the floor more than that. Epps played like an upperclassman. His decision-making was superb. Yep, Jeremy, that's why he was my player of the game. I don't take the easy way out. Dane Danger, 16 minutes. 1 for 1 from the field, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Celebration. We got confetti or something we can pop for that.
I wish we did, but we don't.
4 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 turnovers. He was in foul trouble. I don't think any of those were defensive fouls when he was actually guarding somebody. I think they were all just kind of. He did have somebody actually called the hook on him. He's been doing that all year. So watch out when Courtney Green's down there because apparently he wants to call that. There were so many off the ball fouls in this game. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So in 16 minutes to grab 7 rebounds and get 3 blocks is pretty impressive. He made Walker look like his little brother. And that was your matchup to watch, right?
Yeah. Walker didn't do anything in the first half because of foul trouble.
Got Walker in foul trouble. Walker ends up with 5 points. The way that Dane is playing defense in the paint is really good. I don't know how that will be against guys like Edie and Dickinson, a little bit bigger, not because Walker's 6'9". So, but I did hear, I listened to Mike LaTulip a little bit last night, and he said that Dane Danger's length is more than Kofi's, like standing up because his arms are so long. So, and I think that he's definitely a better rim protector than Kofi, or a better defender for guys down low. So, I feel like he was open 2 or 3 times and guys just didn't get him the ball. I love the way he's defending. He'll get a block and he busts his ass down the court. And for those guys not to get him the ball has to drive him crazy. But again, when you're winning, nobody really cares about that. Again, when he does play Edey and Dickinson and stuff, I'm kind of worried about the fouls. 4 fouls against Walker. Kind of worried with that because Zach Edey seems to get every call out there.
This is also a crew that was calling like everything.
They were calling everything off the ball. But yeah, Brad said on Dane, on the defensive side with his blocks, he's proven to become very, very good on that end of the court against Derek Walker. So Danger used his high hands well in the drop. Latulip broke it down nicely. Yeah, Latulip's really good. If you guys want to hear ex-basketball player talk ball, he is really good to listen to. I try not to listen to him just because I don't want to feel like I'm saying the exact same thing as him. So last night was the first time I've listened to him. Melendez, RJ, guy's going to shoot, right?
After a couple air balls, yeah, definitely.
23 minutes, 4 of 9, 2 of 6 of 3 from 3, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. I felt like he's definitely not lacking confidence. Airballed the first shot, and then I think he airballed his third shot. But I don't mind him shooting. Apparently, Brad doesn't care if he shoots because he's literally running plays for him all the time. So, yeah. I think that he might. I think we might see a turning point here. It feels like he's on the brink of turning it around. And again, his defense has been really good. He's playing all out. He was on the floor fighting for balls. Him and the next guy we're going to talk about, Ty Rogers, brought a lot of energy, a lot of what you want to see out of your team. So I'm really, really excited about where RJ's headed. I know that this season probably isn't what he thought it was going to be. But I'm happy with two. I'm happy with him taking 6. I'd rather have him take 6 threes than I'm going to say it Coleman Hawkins. Sorry. Even though Coleman's probably shooting better than him.
Yep.
You golfing today?
Hell no. It's like 20 degrees.
I just know that we got you out of bed early to do this podcast. So
very early, yeah. I was almost, I would have been ready by 10 or, by 9:30 or whenever we started.
9:30, yeah. I'm happy. Ty Rogers, 16 minutes, 1 for 2. His only make was a amazing rebound dunk.
After a travel.
Shh. There was 1 travel called in this game. By the way, Walker travels every time he gets the ball, or he
carries. I don't know if he travels.
Well, he clearly traveled.
He carried and traveled at the same time. Yeah. But the travel on Sincere was Bush League.
Yeah, that was
Bush League.
Bad. Ty was 2 for 4 from the free throw line. I think I texted you and I said I want a compilation of all the terrible free throw shots Illinois had this year because they've had some ugly ones. 7 rebounds, 4 offensive, 1 assist, 1 block, no turnovers. I really like no turnovers from Ty Rogers. I know that he didn't get the ball much, but it's not, it's not that he, scored a lot or did a lot. I know he had 7 rebounds is really good. It's just the way that he plays and the way that he defended Grisel. I'm going to call him
Grisel. That dude realized he's not playing in the Summit League anymore. In this game.
Yeah. But the way that Ty played a defense against him, I thought it was really good. I thought that he was the best defender on him. And it says that he has had 7 rebounds, but how many did he keep alive and tip out to his guys? And, the little things that make the team that much better. Brad Underwood actually opened up with Ty Rogers, which I thought was nice because you didn't think anybody would talk about him, but everybody's talking about him. So,
well, I was saying that the main headlines of the game would be about Terrence Shannon.
Yeah, Yeah. Underwood said his impact on this game won't show any of the stat lines, maybe other than his rebounding, but he is establishing a lot of what we've been fighting for, and what I've been fighting for is our culture. His versatility and his impact on this game was fabulous. Ty gives us that guy that can guard any position, and then he had half of our offensive rebounds, which is a lie. They had 13. So
Yeah, big lie.
Daniel says RJ has hot spots and major cold spots on the floor. Corner and deep wing shots, especially on the left side, are much higher percentage than top of the key. Yeah, he's really good from the corner.
Top of the key, he'll just hit the side of the backboard.
Yeah.
Not the literal side of the backboard, but like the side of to the rim.
Yeah. Yeah, the actual, yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever. You know how it is.
Other notes and quotes, 5 guys in double digits.
I think they usually say double figures. That's all right.
Double digits.
5 guys with double-digit points, yes.
Double-digit points.
Another Nebraska.
Figures.
You know, people say, oh, it's Nebraska, but here's the thing. Let's think about this for a second. Nebraska has not been destroyed at home once this year.
Yeah.
They took Purdue to overtime at home. They beat Iowa at home, and they blew out, worse opponents. Like, this is their biggest loss of the season, I think, because I think the other one was St. John's. They lost by 20. And I think that was at St. John's, I think. But anyway.
Yeah, at St. John's, lost by 20.
Yeah, and did Curbelo do anything to him? Probably so. So, something to think about. But these two teams will play again the end of this month in Champaign. I feel very good about that game. I think Illinois might win that game by 52 because 26 plus 26 is 52, yes. But Nebraska also didn't score for the last 6.5 minutes. So that made this more of a blowout.
Yeah.
Than it maybe could have been.
Yeah.
But also, they had like a couple runs, maybe 2 runs where you're like, okay, what's going on here? And shout out to Brad for the timeout.
They were up 11 at half. Nebraska opened on a 6-0 run. Brad calls timeout, which he never does. I think I texted you and said that great timeout, Brad. I think that's the first time I've said that in 6 years.
And then the first thing out of the timeout was Coleman hitting a corner 3. So
and then Illinois, they just went unconscious from 3 in that little spurt. Or that was the second time because it was 20 points, then it was 13 or something. 8.
And then they turned it on.
And then they went on that spurt. By the way, Curbelo went 3 of 10, 1 for 1 from 3 in the game against Nebraska. He had 7 assists, 4 steals, and 2 turnovers.
There you go. Pretty good.
Pretty good night from Curbelo. That was a timely timeout, Crypto says. Yeah. Brad Underwood usually doesn't like using them. And man, am I glad that he did. But yeah, 5 guys in double figures, compliment to that offense that they are running. Everybody's touching the ball, it seems like, down the court. So really fun to see. They won the rebounds 41-33. Again, 13 offensive rebounds. Ty Rodgers had half of them with 4. 12 steals, 17 turnovers, and Illinois got 16 points off the 17 turnovers. So they were turning defense into offense, which is what you need. They held Walker to 5 points, and their leading scorer was Gristle with 12. So,
and he had like all of them at the free throw line.
Yeah. Brad, not a lot in the post game, other than the stuff about the players. But I got 2 here. He said, quote, "We weren't right. We weren't about us. You have to fight for that. And I do that. I'm competitive that way because us wins. Individuals don't. I love this team. I love this team as much as anyone we have coached. Not just basketball. It's people, unbelievable human beings in the locker room. Fun to be around. There are no downers. It's just an energy group." Thought it was really funny. Brad came in, yelled roadkill, and the players gave him the silent treatment. So thought that was good. Apparently that was Matthew Meyer's idea.
He probably wanted to keep it that way.
He's the class clown, as they say, I guess.
Keep it silent the whole time. He doesn't care.
But yeah, if you haven't seen the video, it's pretty funny. Brad also said, quote, "It's us, and it's always been about us. Everyday guys mantra and the fight for us. We were the benefactor of loose balls, blocked shots. We got on the floor, and that's who we are. That's who Illinois has been, and us is a pretty good thing." So, good game.
Yep.
26 points. Are you okay?
Brad said like the same thing as the last game. But
He
okay.
literally just keeps repeating himself.
Yeah.
A lot of coach speak, as they say, as you say.
A lot of fighting for stuff, fighting for culture. I heard that quote 32 times in the last 2 weeks. But
yep. And now it's time to fight against Michigan State.
Yep. Illinois, Michigan State, Illinois 11-5, 2-3 in the Big Ten now. Michigan State 12-4, 4-1 in the Big Ten. 8:00 Friday night, FS1. Probably, hopefully, like somebody on the call that doesn't suck, but I don't know. Won't matter for you.
Bardo, all right?
If it's Bardo, I'm muting it instantly, obviously. But yeah, Michigan State, they've won 7 straight after losing to Northwestern on December 4th. Their numbers pretty similar to last season, although the results have been better given why they're 12-4. But this is a team that had a really hard schedule to start. It wouldn't have been surprising if they were like 9-7 right now.
I think Izzo even made the comment that they might start like 1-5 or something.
Well, that was a built-in excuse, but
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's smart play.
Yeah, they started 5-2.
I mean,
they lost to Alabama and Gonzaga.
Their schedule looks tough, but they played Kentucky and Villanova, who both suck. So
that's true, and Oregon, who's not ever like as much as I want the Ducks to be good, it's just not. It's not happening right now. But that is definitely a different perspective when you think about how garbage Kentucky and Villanova have been this year. But Gonzaga, they should have won that game. That was a little bit of
the wind.
Referee stuff. But what I want to know is, how did this team lose by 18 to Notre Dame? That's what I would love to know. Notre Dame is terrible. Notre Dame is 128th on KenPom. They're 9-8.
A big part of that is the guy that you're going to pick for player to watch.
Yeah, but you don't lose by 18 because he's out.
I just think that I think that he brings so much to this, like leadership even. But
won't matter on Friday night. All right.
That's right.
Let's see. 5 players shoot 38% or above from 3. 3 of them shoot 40%. This team's still not an offensive juggernaut, though. They're not. I don't really think anybody in the Big Ten is that, unless you'd say Purdue or Ohio State.
Yeah.
The only worthy arguments. But no, I don't think this team is as good as their record, but we'll get there. Projected lineup. Tyson Walker, point guard, 6'1". 69 3-point attempts this season, had 74 last season, so definitely more comfortable shooting more after transfer from Northeastern. Voice is about to go. All right. Guard AJ Hogard, that rhymes, nailed it. 6'4", 41 assists in the last 5 games. Terrific in the mid-range as well.
That's insane, 41 assists.
Yeah, I think he had like 8 or 10 against Wisconsin and then a bunch against other teams and such. Then they have guard Jaden Akins, 6'4", 44% from threes, up 6% from last season. So shooting the ball better as well, and a little bit of a better offense. That they have a little bit of a better offense as well. So let's see. Forward Joey Hauser, however you want to pronounce it, or pronounce. 6'9", shooting 48 from field, 41 from 3, 88 from the line, 20 points, 8 rebounds against Wisconsin. Matthew Meyer lockdown. So yeah. I think, well, with the way that they do their lineup, it might be Coleman Hawkins lockdown.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know if I like that at all, though. Joey Hauser might see a lot of open threes.
Joey Hauser's a loser. Center Matty Sissoko, 6'9", fouls a lot. 6 games this year with 4 or 5 fouls. He's got a bunch of games with 3 as well.
Should be in jail for trying to kill IO.
Fair. 58% from inside the 3-point line. So Not as good as last season, but he's also had more shots. I think he was 60-something% last season. Looked really good against Kentucky, against Sheboygan.
Yeah.
But other than that, he hasn't been as good as I think people thought he might be as like a breakout center. But he's still a pretty good player.
Yeah. This team, you talked about 7 straight wins. They seem to be coming around. One at Wisconsin, which is always good to do. Again, we have kind of talked about how we thought Wisconsin was overranked, and now with Tyler Wall not playing, he didn't play that game, right? Their wins, at Penn State's a good win. They played Brown, Oakland, and Buffalo after that, and then Nebraska. And then Michigan, who's been struggling in a 59-53 battle. So
yeah, great game. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like their metrics, they don't stand out at all. So that's maybe where the problem is here for them. Adjusted offensive efficiency on Ken Palm, Illinois 43rd, Michigan State 57th. Adjusted defensive efficiency, Illinois 23rd, Michigan State 39th. Tempo, Illinois 61, Michigan State 295. And then overall, Illinois 23rd on Ken Palm. They went from 40th to 23rd, these 2 wins.
Wow.
And then Michigan State's 40th or 41st. I think they're actually 40th, but I wrote it down as 41st. Either way, they're pretty much the exact same spot that they finished last season. They finished 42nd on Ken Palm last season. So I don't really think that this team they're better than last year's team because I think they know how to win a little bit better, but they're not that much better.
Yeah. I think AJ Hoggard is a big part of why they've been winning. Like you said, 41 assists. It's been really good. Getting Malik Hill back, Illinois got to continue to play really good defense, move the ball. This is probably going to be the test to see. Nebraska, I know they've won some games, but they're not great. So this is kind of a big step. It's going to be a sellout crowd, orange out. Some of us will be there. Some of us, decided too late they wanted to be there.
It is.
So yeah, I think this one's going to be close just because this game always seems to be very competitive. So I hope that Illinois runs them off the court. I would prefer that, but it's going to be a good game.
Illinois beat them by 1 State Farm Center without Kofi last year, and they beat them by 5 at on their home floor. So that's 2 straight wins. And then the year before that, they lost to them by 9. That was the game where Io got hurt. So yeah, what can you do?
Yep. Pressing the wrong buttons. Players to watch. I'm gonna go with Ty Rodgers here. I think he's going to be essential in this game, especially defensively. If anybody gets going, anybody gets hot, I think you stick Ty Rodgers on him and have him locked down. Again, we're seeing more of Tyrod. I think he played 2 minutes or 4 minutes, and then he's played like 14 and 16 the last 2 games. So I think we're going to see more 15-minute, 20-minute Ty Rodgers, especially once Big 10 play keeps rolling. So that's who I'm going with. And then I'm going with Joey Hauser. I think that, you got to keep these guys from shooting threes. If Joey Hauser is making shots, Illinois could be in trouble. If he's missing shots, then Illinois is going to win by 20. So
sure.
Make him miss, fellas. Make him miss.
Yep. I'm going Jaden Epps, obviously, naturally. With how good he was in the last game, and now he's got a guard that matches up well against him, or he can match up well against, in terms of like Nebraska didn't really have that true smaller point guard because Griesel's like, hey, I played at North Dakota State, so definitely same competition in the Big Ten, so I could be just as good. But then he learned quickly that that's not the case. He got locked down by a freshman who's smaller than him. Anyway, but Jaden Epps, I think a good test for him here. Usually I would go with Tyson Walker in this spot, but I'm going with Malik Hall, who Does he get back in the lineup at any point? I wonder. But either way, he's
I don't
playing
know.
starter minutes. He played 27 against Wisconsin, 23 the game before that. Very efficient player. So Illinois is going to need to keep an eye on him for sure. And I think that they can. So I'm not too concerned about that.
You're not too concerned about this game.
Nope.
From the sounds of it. Predictions. I got Illinois squeaking this one out, 73-70. Again, I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be close unless Michigan State comes in and they're just ice cold from three. So the defense for Illinois has been a lot better lately. So Illinois could run away with this, but I'm not going to hold my breath and think that they will. So
71-63. Illinois by 8. It's going to be 12, and then Michigan State's going to make a couple baskets. 8-point win. Easy win, some would say. I wouldn't say that, but some would say that. I'm going to say that Jaden Epps goes for 20. I'm going to say Meyer goes for like 12. That's 32.
On how many shots?
12 points on 11 shots.
Great.
He's going to go 4 for 9 from 3. So that's good. But then 4 for 11 from the field. So not good. But yeah, I think Shannon can get to the basket in this game. I think maybe not as easily against Nebraska, but
take him out.
That's true. Just get Dane to give him some space.
Yeah.
Yeah, Illinois 71-63. So, I mean, they beat this team last year at home without Kofi. So, I think BBV may have started in that game or something, or played a lot of minutes. I mean, what a disgrace.
BBV was really good that game, wasn't he? Or I'm thinking of some other game. Maybe I'm thinking of Purdue.
He was certainly there, yeah.
Yeah, he
played
definitely.
20, yeah, he was actually pretty good. 8 points.
I thought he was good. Yeah,
8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 for 7 from the field. You never see that again. Yeah, he played like 12 minutes for South Carolina when they beat Kentucky the other day and didn't even shoot. But yeah, everybody that started in that game is no longer here. Plummer, Frazier, DeMonte, Grandison, BBV. 2 of them are still playing, but the other 3 are hot. So yeah, well, if you can beat them last year, I know that it's a different team. They had Max Christie and Gabe Brown last year and Bingham, but they don't have those guys anymore. A little bit of a shift there, but still a lot of the same players. And then Illinois had Omar Payne playing 13 minutes in this game. So this was a big Luke Goody game, though. Had 9 points to hit 3 threes. So
yeah. Daniel says he wants to see sincere breakaway slam or dunk on someone. Well, he would have had one if he wouldn't have hesitated.
He got fouled, totally fouled.
Yeah. Luke Goody, by the way, I think he's supposed to get checked out sometime like now, like today or tomorrow.
Probably right as we're talking.
And then he's supposed to be back in a week or two. We'll see how practice goes. But
I'm sick of everybody asking about Zachary Perrin, by the way.
Well, don't worry. They're going to start asking about this guy next. So
everybody needs to shut up.
Yeah.
God, everyone's like, Perrin? Is he going to play?
I told my buddies, I said, as soon as Illinois loses, everybody's going to be like, when's this guy going to play?
Yeah. That's definitely going to happen. Italian point guard Nicolo Moretti commits to Illinois from the NBA Global Academy. Didn't have any outstanding offers other than Illinois and USC, so I'm not too concerned about what his offers were. They were from Bryant, Mount St. Mary's, Northern Kentucky, USC, Radford. So probably nobody wanted to offer him because nobody has the stones to develop the way that Brad does, really.
So do you think Jeff Alexander's just on the team so he can travel around the country? Like he's just coaching to – because it seems like he's the international guy, right? He's the one that got Perrin, and he's getting the guy from Italy. So he's just traveling the world, living the good life.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Doesn't
seem like he's coaching.
While Chester and Tim are here grinding it out. So did that one. I want to see him make a layup, Bergie says. Dude, he misses so many layups. Okay.
Well, he just throws him off the glass. I think he's looking for somebody to follow it up and dunk it.
Yeah. All right.
His brother, I think it was David Moretti, but it's spelled David. I don't know what. I don't remember what it was, but he's the point guard for Texas Tech.
It's obviously Italian.
But I feel like people just said David Moretti.
I'm sure they did.
But I remember him very well, the Texas Tech team with Culver and those guys, they lost to Virginia. He had 15 points in that national championship game. So his brother's got some, his brother was on a team at Texas Tech that went to the national championship. He's on a team that went to the Elite Eight. He's on a team that got to the second round, I believe. So his brother had a lot of experience in college basketball.
Trolf man wants to know where Goody will fit in now. Well, I don't think it's going to matter this year. Goody's going to be Goody this year, and Goody's also not a true point guard. This kid,
but where's Zachary Perrin?
This kid is going to be a true point guard. If he's, I don't want to say good enough. Like his tape looks good. Okay.
I feel like the question that's being asked is based on like Ty Rodgers and those guys earning their minutes now,
Yeah. I think Derek Piper, he posted his article he wrote about this kid in the summer. I think we talked about him a little bit. And said that he is like Curbelo, but with a shot. You know who he looks like? And I was going to say this on the pod, and then my buddy texted me this morning and said the exact same thing. He looks like Brandon Pajimski. That's who he's a lefty. He's kind of built like Pajimski.
He's better. If he went to Santa Clara, he would be dropping 30, 20, and 10.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. He's better.
Yeah. I mean, he might be. I don't think Pajimski. I haven't watched pods a lot this year, but I don't know if he handles the ball as well as this kid, and if he looks to pass as much as this kid. So
no, this is a true point guard here. True point guard. It's what you want. It's like stuff that like Gonzaga and Arizona do with finding these players outside of the country, and Kirk Kriisa and Azuolas Tubelis. You just look at Arizona's team, and it's just like that. And I like that Illinois is doing it. Illinois getting more players from outside of the country. It's probably something that Stephen Gentry really likes because he's from Gonzaga and he's not coaching here anymore. But what can you do?
Yeah.
But he will enroll early in second semester, so he'll be sitting on the bench. They got like 20 guys there now.
They have filled every scholarship. That's what Brad said. That's what he wants. He wants open scholarships to add guys mid-season. So
the fans can ask about them constantly. Where's AJ Red? Why isn't he playing? Well, he played 2 seconds.
He had a nice little shot. Oh, did he travel before that?
Oh my God, he traveled like not even close. Biggest travel I've ever seen. But I'm glad everyone's gonna be asking, "Where's Moretti? Where's Perrin?"
How long do you think until he plays? Like the team's playing good.
Yeah, and they have guys like they,
you can't tell it. Brad, I know that Illinois has ran this 5 out, but you can't tell me that Brad they didn't work on the spread a little bit. And even if they didn't start it till a month ago, it still took these guys a month to figure it out. And these kids are going to be here for 2 weeks. And you're like, when's he going to play?
Yeah, stupid. He also said that I ended up choosing Illinois because it's a really good program. Interesting. That can give me what I'm missing right now to compete at the highest level possible. I don't know if the Big Ten's the highest level possible. He said this in an exclusive interview with On3 Sports. Playing in a tough conference like the Big Ten is definitely going to be a good challenge for me.
Yeah. I saw that Terrence Shannon tweeted out at him. You think Terrence Shannon Jr. had a lot to do with him coming after playing with his brother and such?
That's a good point, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit of a factor there maybe. Sky Clark replacement, question mark?
That's dumb.
I just thought I saw people saying that, so I was like, okay, I'll put this in there.
Well, whoever said that, you're dumb.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of stupid people within the circles of the
Illini. We'll see how this kid develops. It's hard to say where he will be. He does have some facets of his game that look really good. It looks like he needs to get kind of bigger.
No, he's good. 100%. He's in. Start him. Start him with the one.
RJ Skinny Arms.
Sincere just lost his spot in the starting lineup, folks. As did Dane Danger with Perrin ready to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Here we go. All right. Around the Big Ten quickly. Penn State last night just torched. You thought Penn State looked like they were making everything against Illinois. I mean, last night
Indiana is down bad. But, of course, Illinois got torched by Penn State, too.
Not
It's
like
funny.
this.
Yeah, it's funny because people are like, will Indiana even make the tournament now?
Yes.
But
I mean, they're
they got
10-6.
2 starters out. You can't.
Losses. All their losses have been to top 55 Ken Palm teams, including road losses at Iowa and Penn State. You can get away with that. Road loss at Rutgers. Road loss at Kansas. Neutral site loss against Arizona. The only thing that I would say about this is that they've almost gotten blown out in every loss. Like they lost by 15 to Rutgers. They lost by 14 to Arizona. They lost by 22 to Kansas. They lost by 21 or 19 to Penn State. So other than a 2-point loss where they blew a 20-point lead to Iowa and then a 1-point loss to Northwestern, this team is in a bad spot. And I've always said that TJD is like a very much a stat patter rather than a winning player on a winning team. So, but they do have injuries. You know, they got Geronimo and Galloway starting right now. So they don't have Xavier Johnson or Race Thompson. So those are big losses. But either way, I mean, you got to step up a little bit. Some of these guys, like, I mean, nobody's really standing out.
People we had to hear about it for 3 months that the Big Ten ran through Bloomington. Like, if you can't replace a couple injured players, you're not going to, if you have no depth, you're not going to do a whole lot.
Well, they don't really have anybody to run their offense. They don't really have any semblance of a point guard. That's a huge problem.
Yeah. Well, that's because that is one of the problems with getting a guy like Hood Schifino, right? I mean, he's going to go out there and get his.
You need Xavier Johnson.
Not that I hate him, but
you need Xavier Johnson.
Oh yeah, Xavier Johnson's huge.
But like Penn State shot 18 of 31 from 3. Like, what the hell is that? Jesus, Funk was 7 for 12. Lundy was 7 for 12. They shot 18.
It's like they were playing Illinois again.
This is worse than that.
Yeah, I know, but
it's like, I mean, they go 18 of 31 from 3, and Dredd is 0 for 1. He didn't even make one. Pickett 2 for 2.
Who'd Funk go 1 for 9 against? We needed that Funk.
1 for 8 against Michigan.
Yeah.
0 for 3 against Michigan State. 2 for 8 against Colorado State. 2 for 8 against Furman. But then 5 for 11 against Virginia Tech. 6 for 9 against Illinois. 5 for 6 against Canisius. 4 for 10 against Delaware State. That's not great. But 5 for 8 against Iowa. And then 7 for 12. I mean, good Lord. That's bad.
Yeah.
And Pickett 12 and 12 or 12, 5 and 8. Bad math. Wrong columns. But anyway, yeah, this is a blowout. And then you had what else did I write on here? Rutgers.
They played last night
on the road. Yep.
What, 6 o'clock?
It was 8 o'clock.
Really? How did I miss that?
I don't know, but they won by 3. Cam Spencer once again hits a big 3 to get them to prevail. He went 7 for 14 from the field, despite going 1 for 7 from 2-point range. He went 6 for 7 from 3. 23 points for him, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, and a steal. He's transferred from Loyola, Maryland. He's been big time for them, playing the point. He played small forward pretty much a lot, that role at Loyola, Maryland, but he's been playing the point at Rutgers, so that's good. But Northwestern, welcome back down to earth because they're going down.
How'd Boo Booey do?
4 for 13 from the field.
Solid.
13 points. 4 for 4 from the line, 7 assists, 4 turnovers. How about Northwestern only having 9 turnovers against this Rutgers team? You shouldn't lose if you only have 9 turnovers.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah. Rutgers also shot 61% from 3, so would have been nice if Illinois could do that against them. But other than that, tonight there's a couple games. Rothstein tweeted them out. Michigan at Iowa, and that's the only one. So I guess a couple would be the wrong word.
There is one game.
Is that the only one?
I don't.
Most of the games are like all West Coast. Like Arizona State plays, USC plays. Gonzaga plays. Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. with that.
Yeah.
Yep, that is the only game. Is there another Big Ten game tomorrow before Illinois? No, there's not.
No.
Nope. But Saturday, if there's anything to look forward to in the Big Ten, it's certainly Wisconsin at Indiana. This is a chance for Indiana to bounce back, especially if Wall is out. But knowing how things are going in Bloomington right now, Wall will probably be back and have like 25.
Yeah. True.
But you never know. That's a CBS game, so main stage for them. But then other than that, not too much going on in the Big Ten this weekend, Saturday at least. I think the Big Ten's usually a conference that likes to go Sundays for some reason, like when there's other things on, because they got Ohio State at Rutgers on Sunday and Northwestern at Michigan, Maryland, and Iowa. So 3 games on Sunday as well. So, yeah, should be interesting to see. The Big Ten is just beating the absolute piss out of each other this year more than like ever.
Yeah.
More than the last few years when it's always been talked about how it's going to happen. This year it's actually happening. So.
Yeah, and just seeing it like any given night. But I mean, that's college basketball, right? I mean, Funk goes unconscious one game, then he goes 1 for 8 one game. I mean, I
was in love with how good UConn was. Now they're 4-3 in the Big East.
Yeah.
I'm on Xavier now, so I think we're going to be doing the college basketball midseason podcast on Monday. Usually our date to do that, and then we pick it back up in February through the rest of the tournament. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. So I have links to that. You can see my Twitter at the bottom there. But I've decided that we're not going to hit an hour here, so I'm gonna end this here.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be back episode 139.
Hey, if you're at the game tomorrow, you see me, say hi.
Yep.
Ethan
might want to take
isn't going because he could never make a decision. So
there's reasons. But anyway, episode 139 will probably be like Sunday or Saturday or Thursday. Well, nope, that doesn't make any sense.
We'll see.
When do they play next?
Thanks, Crypto. When does Illinois play next?
Yeah. Is it Minnesota?
I don't know. I closed everything.
I got it. It is Minnesota Monday. So, oh my God, it's Monday. Okay. We might need to do one Sunday then, since we're doing the college hoops one Monday, or just double down. I don't know. Anyway, we'll be back episode 139 sometime in the next few days. So hopefully Illinois can win. If they don't, then we're going to have real problems on this podcast. So we'll see.